we on? Okay, welcome to your guided tour of Commodore business machines. For those of you who've never been here, this is your chance to get a guided tour of the facilities and all the important people who have to do with the development, the production, and the support of the Commodore Amiga computer. That sound professional or what?
Okay, great.
This is the lobby. This is where our guests, when they come to visit Commodore employees, are first greeted. And this wonderful woman here is Dottie. She's our receptionist. She greets all the employees and also helps answer phone calls when we get overburdened. Say a few words to the folks at home, Dottie. I'll just say hi, that'll do.
Hi.
There we go. Okay. Hi, welcome inside the production facilities at 1200 Wilson Drive, Commodore Business Machines. We're now going to take you on a guided tour of a few of our assembly lines and show some of our products in production and also show you how these things are assembled and tested by our fine quality assurance department. Okay, now we're inside of our production facilities here, and what we're going to show you behind us here, people have already assembled Amiga 500. They're putting them in the boxes, getting all the labels mounted on them. Over in the next step, they're putting in the manuals, they're doing the final static protection on them, and they're doing the final sealing of them in the boxes the way they're shipped, and stacking on the skids prepared for shipment. Okay, and can we stop you? Yeah, we're just stopping the woman on the street here to find out what she thinks about. Oh no, seriously, folks, this is Gayle Wellington. Are your title, Gayle?
Chief in charge of miscellaneous and assorted.
Mrs. Big Guy. We're going to move into Gayle's office now and do an in-depth interview. As you can see, so she's very busy, as usual, so we're going to have to stop back to conclude this interview with Gayle later. Right now, we're going to move on to other members of the CATS team. The old foot in the door, I learned that when I sold car insurance.
Is it what you're doing and all that good stuff?
It's just for the developers conference. Huh? Oh, well. What we're doing here is we're rolling a film, and we're taking the developers who've never been to Commodore business machines, and we're taking them on a guided tour of our facilities, and also a guided tour of all the important key personnel that have very important roles in the future, the support, and the development of the Commodore Amiga computer. You, as one of those key individuals, have been selected to win glorious prizes and be on our videotape. That's right. This is the famous Lauren Brown. I'm sure many of you people out there maybe have never seen her before, but you've probably used her name in a number of sentences in different forms. And now's your chance to meet her and for her to tell you what she thinks of you.
Hi. Bye. Really?
And that's it, Lauren? That's all you really want to say to these developers?
They'll see me.
Oh, well. You guys may want to take a look here at Lauren's office. This is the usual state of it because she's a very busy gal, because you guys don't cut her a break. Okay? We got an answering machine. Use the darn thing. Thanks for the interview, Lauren. We'll be getting back to you then. This is Patsy. She's our department secretary. She takes care of filling all those orders and all the not trivial, excuse me. Shouldn't say this stuff. She takes care of all the other details that you guys put on her. She takes care of all our dirty work. We need somebody to do that for us.
Of course.
She's a very important part. And when you people call and you can't get through to Lauren, or you call the CATS team, and you need an order trace down, you need a developer's number, you will need an RA number, all that stuff that you guys need, this is the gal to keep in mind next time you're calling every day of the week wanting to know where that number is. This is the poor gal that we have to pest to find out for that information. I think we're on film. Are we rolling right now? Okay, I guess we're rolling. So your name is Rich McIntyre.
Rich McIntyre.
That's okay. A lot of people freeze on film for their first time. It's fine. I'll help you out. I'll roll you through this. Okay. And your title here?
Rich McIntyre.
No. That's your name, Rich. We're looking for your title this time.
My title?
Yeah.
Vice President of Sales and Marketing.
Good title. Good title. I like that one.
Yeah.
And this film that we're shooting now is for our Amiga developers. So if you have
Gentlemen,
anything
keep working.
That's right.
Could you all make it compatible, please, so I could use one with the other?
Good word. Any other thing you'd like to say to these developers before we shuffle off to our next victim or our next interviewee in our...
No, I think that about covers it. More software that works together would definitely be a plus.
All right. Thank you for your time, Rich.
Only Amiga makes it possible.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to enter the office of John Campbell. John Campbell is the manager here, and he's in charge of software, something or the other. Come on into his office, and we'll find out exactly what John's duties are. Hi, John. Good morning. What is your title here, John?
I try to keep track of you.
All right.
That's more than any man can handle.
That's probably more than anybody should have to do, including my wife. John, this tape is for our developers at the DevCon conference where you've already been, they've already got to meet you because this tape's going to be shown after it's all over. to the poor individuals who are left. And you have anything you'd like to say to them as to what your duties are, how you interact to them, where you become a key individual when they have a product that's ready for marketing or attempting to market a product?
My role in Commodore is really very simple, just to make sure that third parties can get their product into the marketplace without any difficulty. And of course, that's easier said than done.
Very good, John. Sounds like a job that has a lot of challenge, a lot of depth, and keeps you out of trouble for most of the day.
And a lot of paperwork.
Yes, there's a lot of paperwork you'll notice on John's desk. What is this? Dear John, pick up a loaf of bread. Oh, okay, John, thank you for your time. We know you're very busy. We don't want to keep you up. Or, tie you up. That's what we meant. Yeah, not keep you up. We know you're not
Tie
going to
me
sleep.
up. I think you're in the wrong movie.
We got the cable here. We can tie you right up in this chair. Okay, we're coming into the office here of...
Nancy Raines.
Right, and Nancy's doing for us, she's updating our ROM kernel manual so that all you developers can get the latest, hottest information on 1.3 is going to be correct. Right, Nancy?
I hope so.
That's right. And do you have anything you'd like to tell the developers as to information that you'd like to hear from them or other things on the future implementation of these newly revised and fantastic manuals?
Well, Carolyn Schepner has put a request on Bix for people who might be interested in providing sample programs. Also, at this stage, we could really use advice and input on how they'd like the manuals arranged. We'll be turning in the first manual at the time of the developers conference, but there will be another 3 manuals, the second ROM kernel, the hardware, and the intuition manuals that will follow.
Okay, very good. And rumor has it, my cameraman Bill Kester here tells me that you have an interesting something that you can do that you'd like to demonstrate for us on film. Is that true?
Well, unfortunately, the sun is down, so I will be unable to demonstrate that.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. Thank you for your time. Okay. Inside the office here, the famous Dan Baker, one of the software engineers here in the CATS team. Say a few words, Dan, for the software developers.
Hi, Bill. How's it going?
Great, Dan.
Good conversation, guys.
Hope to see everybody in Washington, D.C. How's that?
I'd like to tell these people how you directly interface and interrelate with the developers when they call for technical support and what some of the other important duties are here at Commodore?
I prefer not to, if that's okay with you, Dan.
Hey, that's fine with us. We're just running around wasting film. No, thanks for your time, Dan. We know you're busy. The phones are ringing. I hear them now, and I can see that you're busily keeping up with Usenet and
You got
supporting
it.
the people. But, oh, I lied. That's not Usenet. That's actually Bix. Dan's online on Bix, offering more developer support. Thanks for your time, Dan. We don't want to interrupt you and hold you up anymore.
Good night, guys.
Now we're outside of the office of Carolyn Schepner, one of the senior CATS members team. Senior CATS staff member, whatever, you know, something like that. Come on in here. This is Carolyn. Carolyn, say a word to all the developers. Okay, that was pretty good. Now, would you like to explain to these people like what your duties are and how you interface and interrelate with the developers? And your role here as a software engineer and member of the CATS support team?
No.
Okay, that's easy enough. But is there anything you'd like to say in closing to these people?
I'll say something.
Like,
Say something.
like, don't keep calling me and testing me. Let me alone. I got work to do. Or I really like when you call. Or like, what's your favorite thing that developers do to you?
Favorite thing?
See, that's tough.
I like when they call with simple questions.
Yeah. See that, guys? Keep it simple. And what's the thing that they do that most aggravates you? Or can't you say that on phone?
When they whine.
When they, I love when they want. I can't get this to work. Can I follow the example? That kind of whining. Probably about it here, but okay. Well, we know you're busy, Carolyn. She's busy writing code here and important documentation to keep you guys out of trouble.
Yeah,
Thanks.
if I work 60 or 70 hours a week, they let me write code in my spare time.
Well, not a bad deal. What do you think, guys? Okay, Carolyn, thanks for your time, and we're going to get out of your office and let you do some work.
Okay, and if you need some stupid pet tricks later, use Dino.
Stupid pet tricks. Good idea. We'll get back to that later. Okay. In the office of Becky Cotton. Becky Cotton is the advertising coordinator. Correct me if I get this wrong.
You're wrong.
For
Advertising sales representative, thank you.
Oh, excuse me. Advertising sales representative.
For the new magazine.
For which
Amiga
magazine is that?
Solutions. Amiga Solutions.
Amiga Solutions. Do you have your subscription? If not, get them now. They're going fast. And you're also what title for Commodore magazine?
Advertising coordinator.
Ah, so I was right. She's just both. buffaloing us. That's it, yeah. She's bull buffaloing us. That's what we're doing. So, Becky, do you have anything you'd like to say to developers in relationship to how they should contact you if they want to run advertising space in our magazine or anything?
Definitely. Oops, I guess these
No, I have to hold the microphone.
Okay.
The cable comes off.
Yeah,
You may hold the cigar.
Okay. Amiga Solutions is the first hands-on publication to be produced by Commodore that's specifically for the Amiga. It's all high-end business, well, not high-end, bye Sue. It's all business applications for the professional Amiga users in terms of video, sound, graphics, you name it. So if you'd like to get more information about advertising in this wonderful publication, contact me at area code 215-431-9259.
Could you repeat that number again, Becky?
Area code 215-431-9259.
That number again, 215-431-9259. Thanks for your time, Becky.
No problem. Thank
Okay,
you.
this gentleman here is Jim Dickman. Jim Dickman, what's your title here?
Sales support
Sales support of what?
of PC 64128, Amiga for the military.
Ah, very good. You have that? Amiga for the military.
Our largest account.
Yes. This tape here is for our Amiga developers. Do you have any information you'd like to relay to the Amiga developers as how they could interface with you or get involved with Amigas and the military, or why they shouldn't buy an ugly tie like this? Anything like that you'd like to relay to them?
No, but what I'd like to say is if you have any kind of problem, you gotta call Dan here because he's the man with the knowledge. His home phone number is, what's your home phone number again? Saturday night? Saturday night. He's a married guy, he doesn't care.
Yeah, we're not doing anything anyway. So, okay, Jim, we thank you for your time because we know that you're busy drawing little pointers there on that screen.
Yeah, I wish I had an Amiga to do this.
It
I
would
wish I
make it much more easier. But
Much easier,
with a
yes.
tie like that, what do you expect?
Hey.
Okay, thanks for your time, Jim.
Batteries included.
Really? What was the price on that?
$9.99. That's $9.99. Call 1-800.
1-800-STUPID-TIE. That number again, 1-800-STUPID-TIE.
Yes. Now this is
Yeah,
the
I'm glad
tie.
to find you guys at work.
Now this is a tie for those people who don't know what a tie is. Okay. Something goes around the neck, makes it look
Are
professional.
you wasting our film there?
Sorry.
Okay, thanks. Okay, right now we're outside of the office of Mike Rivers. Mike Rivers is the technical editor, assistant technical editor, I'm sorry, for Commodore Magazine. Come in and check out the colorful decor of this office. You'll notice here we've got trees. Over here we've got flying cars above the mountains. Behind me here we have this scenic river scene, this casual going.
Okay, all right. That's enough. Somebody call security.
This is Dave Berezowski. Dave Berezowski is our resident printer driver expert. This tape, Dave, is for our developers at the DevCon conference.
Oh, great.
Would you like to say something to these guys about writing printer drivers or anything important you'd like to relay to them?
Well, if I tell them about writing printer drivers now, they won't want to come to the DevCon conference.
They're not going to see this tape till after they've seen you.
Okay, well, in that case, I hope you got everything out of my conference that you wanted to. Hopefully I told you everything there is to know about writing drivers. I don't know.
But if they have any questions or problems, can they call you, or what's the best way to leave you mail, or where should they leave you mail? How should they contact you? If they have
Okay,
any
you can
problems?
contact me on Usenet at Dave B at CBMVax. I'm also on Bix. I think I'm under D Berezowski, which is DBEREZOWSKI. I sign on both places every day. And yeah, if you have any questions about writing drivers, or more importantly, if you're an application programmer and you want to know how to best use the printer device, especially the dump RPort command, please give me a call. I want you guys to get the most out of it. There's a lot of features in there, and we really need to pass that information on to you guys so that the user gets the most out of your programs.
Okay, Dave, so thank you for your time, and we won't hold you up anymore.
Great.
Okay. Eric Cotton. Eric Cotton's a member of the Commodore Amiga Software Development Division. Would you like to say anything to the developers, Eric, about things that they should be aware of, or other important things to keep an eye on with 1.3?
Not particularly.
Okay, that was well put, I have to admit. Was there any key points, like maybe the 100 most common programming mistakes that you'd like to relay to these guys, or
Read Ganshine's article. Great article in Amiga.
yeah. And one thing though that I'd like to mention, I don't know if our cameraman can zoom in on this or not. But I'd like you to see this little figure right over here. If you guys could just zoom in on that for a second. Can you get that, cameraman? Okay, that's Gilligan. That's all I wanted to point out. We thank you for your time.
Well, for
here,
pointing
Rick.
out figures, there's one figure I'd like to point at.
Yeah, if you can get a close-up of that figure there, it's really not that bad either. Okay, Rick, thanks for your time.
Oh.
We're interviewing two people here who are important members of our documentation staff. One person who's an important member of our documentation staff. Isabel. Isabel, you tell folks at the Developers Conference what you do here at Commodore? Camera's that way here.
Are you serious?
Sure, we're rolling.
Is this going to be edited? I write the manuals. I track the manuals for production. I deal with all the Germany engineers around this place. Did I said that? Yeah.
No, they're probably watching by now, but that's okay. So, if the developers have a question about a manual or a problem or a correction or an addition, should they contact you, or how should they go about contacting Commodore to make sure that future revisions of the manual contain these corrections?
They should put it on the net. How's that?
Which net is this?
Ah, good one. ComSys Amiga, yes.
Okay, and should they mark it to your attention, or can they mail you your
Yeah,
Commodore
they could
Amiga?
email. They could email me.
And your mail address at CBM Vax is?
Izzy. IZZY.
Okay, thank you. Now we're going to swing the camera over here. Did you move it already? That was a tough move for that camera, but I'm telling you.
Yes, this is tough.
Yes. That camera's that way, Barb. This is Barb Feldman. Barb, would you like to tell folks how Untitled? I can't remember it.
Sure, I sometimes have a hard time remembering it too. It's manager of worldwide product support.
Ooh, I like it. And would you like to tell the developers actually what your duties are here at Commodore, or more specifically how they relate to the Commodore Amiga and the developer community?
Okay, well, I have two main tasks. One is to be the liaison between all the sales and marketing groups worldwide and engineering and manufacturing. And the second main job is to track products and to alert people when things are slipping and what needs to get done next and so on.
So basically you would not have a direct interface or relationship with the developers then, but you're part of the important people behind the scenes that make the developers things happen.
I hope so.
All right. We thank both of you for your time. We realize Gayle Wellington here, who we've already got her title, and earlier we had to postpone our interview because she was busily on the phone helping developers with support. Gayle, what we'd like to know is a couple of your duties and the way they relate to the developer community.
Well, I'm responsible for Commodore's frequent flyer program. No, you always talk to the interviewer, not
excuse me.
camera.
Okay.
You asked the question.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I did.
I'm responsible for Commodore's frequent flyer program. It's my job to see how many miles it's possible for a Commodore employee to log in any 1 year.
Oh, very good. And how many miles have you logged so far this year?
I'm afraid to count, but I've made 3 trips to Europe, 1 to the West Coast, 1 to Canada, and several trips to New York City to visit our fearless leader.
Ah, and our fearless leader is?
Uncle Irving Gould.
That's the gentleman, yes. What are like some of the common annoyances, bugs, problems, questions that developers relay to you that you could give them some kind of general advice so that they can handle matters maybe a little bit more on their own before they have to come to you?
Well, the most frequent question that I get is, why doesn't anybody ever call me back? And the best advice I can give about that is, well, don't call.
That sounds good. We told them earlier to call Andy Finkel here in the hallway, and Andy's in charge of the Commodore Amiga software development team here at Commodore. I'd like to say a couple words to the software developers, Andy, about things they should be aware of or anything in general. No. Okay. Thanks, Andy.
Oh, you're welcome.
This gentleman
This
right
is a
here.
pen.
Excuse me? You're
That's
on
a pen,
film, sir. You're
That's a
on film.
pen. Come on, get out of here.
Ah, come on.
I already heard about you guys.
Oh,
I
wow.
was ready for
Our
you at
rumor?
lunch. I heard you were coming around and bothering people while they were eating lunch. I was going to take a taco and smash it in my mouth and have it coming down like that, but
Darn,
it
we
just didn't
missed
work. I definitely like the like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So,
Pretty cute.
can we interrupt you for a minute or two there for an interview? Are you too important?
I'm too important. This lunch is out.
But are you too busy? That's the key question.
I'd never do anything. So
Okay, there we go. Well, who would like to introduce here? This, I guess I'm not on the film.
My buddy.
We look pretty good together. We should hang around together more often. This is Hedley Davis. Hedley is part of our engineering team over here at Commodore. And Hedley, would you like to explain to the developers here some of your important roles with developing products for the Amiga?
I have very few important roles with developing products for the Amiga. C64 forever.
There you go. So, is there anything else
No,
except for
well, there's-
C64 forever you'd like to
There's the
relay to these folks?
A2024, which is a high-resolution monochrome monitor that we use.
The famous Headley high-res system.
What is this for, really?
This is for the developers conference.
I see.
It's going to be shown there.
All right.
You're going to be there, so you'll get to see it.
Aren't you? I can be embarrassed there then. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
in person, right after you see this.
Okay. Well, is there anything else I can do for you? You said trying to beat a hasty retreat.
That's pretty much it. Well, thank you for your time. Okay. Inside of the Commodore engineering area, where we just finished interviewing a few of our engineers, this area is one of the most highest secure areas inside of Commodore. As you'll notice above me, if you can get a shot of this is actually cameras that are guarding this door and watching who's entering and who's exiting, what you're entering and exiting with. These doors in front of me are locked at all times. This special thing here requires a security badge, which only certain individuals have access powers to get inside of here. We'll go in right now. Oop, somebody left the door open. Okay. We're in the office here of Paul Higginbottom. And along here with Paul happens to be Pete Baxter. Pete's in charge of, what are you in charge of, Pete?
User group support.
That's right. And Paul, you're in charge of?
Amiga marketing.
That's right. Paul's a very important guy here, especially with you developers in relationship to the Amiga. Would you like to say anything to the developers as far as what kind of relationship you have with them, where you would interface with them, any important dealings you would have with them?
Amiga developers shouldn't just look at Amiga products, they should look at products on other machines as well.
Very good point, Paul. And Pete, do you have any word for the developers on maybe how they could use or how they could make more benefits out of the user groups?
Well, by getting in touch with the user groups, they'll be able to possibly have an instant market for the product. They can call me, get the names of local groups, and if they know of any new groups, definitely call us and let us know about those too.
And the people who are in user groups also often represent a lot of professions, not just hackers operating the machines.
Good
It would
point.
be a useful source of research.
Okay, anything you guys would like to say in closing to the developers?
Have a good time at the shop.
Best of luck.
Okay, thank you guys. Okay, right now we're in the middle of the Commodore customer support area where end users, consumers who have complaints or problems can call and get help. This is that infamous number, 436-4200, that everybody says no one is ever there or answers the phone. We're here to prove there actually are people here. I don't know if they're answering the phone, but we'll find out. Over this way, we have one of the customer support representatives. His name is Greg. Greg, would you like to say anything to the developers about that you guys are really here and answering the phones?
We're definitely really here. We really appreciate, though, if the developers call these guys, because we can't handle your phone calls.
Good point, Greg. Yes, if you are a developer and you're a certified or commercial developer with Commodore, you were given specific information where to call to get your support or where not to call to get your support. Please follow those guidelines. Now we'd like to move along here and just show a few of the people in this area that are actually hard at work. Here we have another one of our customer support representatives, Creepy Carbus. And you can see that he's busily working here. He's filling out forms, taking care of records of the calls of the day and stuff. So as you can see, there actually are people here. We're now going to do a quick cut and then move over to the other side where we'll actually show representatives live on the phone. Okay. The area where the customer support representatives are actually taking the phone, are supposed to be taking the phone call. For some reason, all the representatives, oh, here comes one of those representatives now. But usually, this whole area is just busily bustling with people. On the average, you'll find 30 to 50 people in here during the day answering phone calls. Non-stop. These people are here from 6 in the morning till 8 at night. Okay, so you're maybe not here quite as many hours as I mentioned, but you're here pretty many hours. And here you can see, if you can get a close-up of this phone off the hook here, you'll notice that our customer support representatives are here. So when you call and nobody answers these phones, just remember, you've seen these people, they do exist, they're here. One of our temporary help people here. Before I fall over all this shit.
It has a barricade in her office
yeah, right.
to keep this thing out.
That, we need help here because we're continually swamped with orders, new development information and stuff for the Commodore developers. We're always trying to support you. Would you like to say anything to the developers about all this important information that you're doing here?
Well, I know it's broadening the horizons in my life.
There you go. And we certainly hope that it's broadening your horizons as developers as well. Now we're in the hallway, heading back towards engineering here, and this is just a scene of some of the activity and frustration that goes on here in Commodore. Get a few of the people accessing some of our exciting vending machines here in the hallway of Commodore. You can see that they're getting exciting things like sodas, cigarettes, candy, chips. But Commodore is not a boring place. The hallway here with Jeff Porter and Joe Morlino. Jeff's Mr. Big Guy in charge of engineering. And Joe, what's your title?
Little guy in charge of engineering.
This is Big Guy. He's Big Guy in charge of support for the Northeast area.
Dealer
of our
training.
Dealer training, that's
The
right.
Mid-Atlantic Division? That's right.
Yes. And
And the Greater Northeast.
How do you interrelate or interface with the developers, or what do you have to do with the developer community, Jeff?
What do I have to do with the developer?
Do you have any information that
Well,
you'd
what
like
I would
to
do,
pass along to our developers?
I do a lot of, I demonstrate a number of their products at shows, as well as train some of our fine dealers with their new packages.
So if a developer had a product that he'd like you to demonstrate at a show or get you to teach it to some of our dealers, how would he go about contacting you to make sure that you were aware of this product and get a copy of the product to you?
He can call me here at Commodore, and my extension's 9311.
Okay, now we're going to interview Jeff. And Jeff's a very important guy here. Jeff has a lot to do with the development of Commodore products and the future development of upcoming products. Can you give us any insight or give the developers any kind of insight, Jeff, as to new exciting products or changes that we have in works for the Amiga?
Oh, well, we have mighty fine things in store for 88. You know, some of those things have been previewed at the last Comdex show. The 2024 high-res Monaco monitor, the
Headley high-res?
The quote-unquote Headley high-res, yes. I don't know whether we'll be able to strip that moniker off the product before it comes out, but yeah, that's what we call it internally. The 68020 card, which is called an A2620, gives you lots of performance and all this other kind of stuff. Of course, we have a whole sundry of video products like a A2300 Genlock, and hopefully in the future an A2350 PVA, which should keep my phone from ringing off the hook about people that want to do things with the Amiga and just can't. Let me see, what are some of the other neat things that we've got? Of course, the complete complement of PC compatible products, but you guys don't care about that. That's about it, I guess.
Okay, well, do you actually have anything to do with the developer community in the line of a direct connection? I mean, do they have any reason to
I
actually
usually,
contact you? Or
for some reason, if the guys are too cheap to like pay the $25 developer fee, they usually try and call me up.
$50, Jeff, sorry.
Oh, is that $50?
$50.
Okay, well, gee, it seems awfully small to me, but they usually try and call me up. Now, that is a, you know, a trial and error basis.
No thing, right?
Yeah, that's a non-supported thing. You know, I tell them to pay their money and we answer the questions.
Okay, well, we thank both of you guys for your time. You were great. And if you'd like to say a closing comment to the developers at the conference here.
Just thank you for your support.
Keep up the good work.
Okay. Inside of the office is Steve Beats. He's the guy who's responsible for our famous fast filing system. Come on in, we'll meet Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
We're filming a little tape here for the developers who by now already know you, and they know that you're a prima donna and a definite Amiga guru. Because they've been through your lectures and they know all about the fast file system and they're overly impressed with it. So what would you like to say to the developers maybe about the fast file system or something that they should be keeping in mind?
God, you ask difficult questions.
Well, how about just any kind of general information that you'd like to relay to the developers of maybe an important tip that you may have picked up along your many years of programming experience? Okay, maybe like the top 100 mistakes that developers make when they program. Maybe you'd just like to say hi to them.
Hi.
Okay. And is there anything in general though you'd like to say to them that like they're doing a good job, or don't call me and bug me, I'll call you, or here's my phone number if you want me to call me, or
phone number is definitely unlisted. It's called here.
Unlisted, yeah. You can't see Steve's phone number here.
Yeah,
he
right.
definitely does not need to be called. He's a busy man. Would you like to give him any insight into any super new stuff that we're going to be coming out with that we can relay
Rumors
to?
about the A5000? I mean,
yeah.
Let's call it here.
It's over there?
No.
Okay. No, you can't see that.
This is really nuts.
Okay, well,
I can't believe it. I'm going to have subjected myself to like how many
But
days of meetings?
the key is, have you had a good time here today?
Today?
Right now. In
Right
this
now.
interview, have you not had a great time?
No, actually, I haven't really been. I'm fixing a bug in the fast firing system right now, which of course won't.
Cut that. It was not a bug. No. It was a feature that we're changing. It's not a bug.
Yes, right. A benefit.
Right.
We don't have
It was a
features,
benefit that we're
benefits.
changing. That's right.
Right.
Okay, Steve. Well, we can see that you're busy here. You've got. Can you get a close up of this really important program that Steve has running back here? You can see that's an exciting
Actually, yes,
demo.
I do. You know, this all development is done on Amiga 2000.
Yes. Can
This
we get a
wonderful
close up of that?
Sun over
This
here.
Sun is running the fabulous
It's running
Worm demo.
Live.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you notice that Steve does do all native development on an Amiga 2000. Very important point. I'm glad you brought that up, Steve.
Right.
Okay, well, we thank you for your time. We won't hold you up. We know that you've got plenty of work to do
Who's
over
going to
here.
interview him?
Oh, we've got a surprise waiting for him. Thanks for your time, Steve.
Okay. Goodbye.
Okay. Assurance area of Commodore Amiga. This is the rear area. Talk louder? Okay. Right now we're in a quality assurance area here of Commodore. These guys are located close to the CAT staff so that they can make sure that all the products that you guys receive have been tested thoroughly, that there are no bugs and problems with it. Right now we're going to enter this office and meet one of those quality assurance people. This guy's name is Jerry. Hey, Jerry, maybe you'd like to say a few words to some of the Amiga software developers and tell them some of the torturous tests that you guys put the Commodore equipment through before these guys actually get it.
Who do I have to sleep with to get edited out of this?
Oh no, there's none of that stuff. This is, maybe you'd like to see some scenes around here. You can see that Jerry has some of the equipment here. He has it in various stages of opening so that he can get in and actually see some of the physical hardware, how it works, and really get in there to decipher any kind of bugs and problems. Can you tell us any recent problems or anything that you've come up across here that the Amiga developers would be interested in?
Well, let's see. Probably by the time they see this, it'll be an old bug, so.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. That should take care of you guys. Evidently, as we've noticed here in our QA department, there are no problems with the Amiga. It's perfect. Thanks, Jerry. Okay. Down here in our tour Commodore business machines, and now we're going to take you into the office of our famed cameraman, Bill Kestner. As you can see, this wall here is an array of pictures that Bill has printed out on the famous Textronics color printer that he himself has written the printer driver for. I have to know that since these pictures have gone up on the wall, property value in this neighborhood is going way down. Let's step into Bill's office and actually meet him. Keep in mind, Bill's running the camera, so we couldn't get Bill here. Well, we've got a substitute, and this gentleman here is named Tom. He's going to fill in and portray just like he's Bill. By now, you all know what Bill looks like because the conference is over, but just pretend this is Bill. Just like you're back in kindergarten, just pretend.
I'll really pretend I'm Bill here.
Okay? Get off.
You don't have a hat, do you? I can wear.
You can borrow my hat if you want.
Hi, I'm Bill. I just recently wrote this printer driver for this Tektronix printer. It does some unbelievable output. Let me give you an example. Look at this baby. Another one ready for the wall. I think it's a fine printer myself.
How's the property value?
Property value going to increase on that one? I don't know what else I can tell you. I wish I was behind the camera and Bill was actually here for you, but since that can't possibly be.
Okay, well, we thank you for filling in for Bill.
My pleasure.
And we'd like to say to all you guys, we're going to make one more quick stop, and then we're going to do our final goodbye. Okay? Excuse me, sir. This is the second to last stop here on our tour. This gentleman right here is Mike Culligan. He's in charge of our QA division up here. What's your title, Mike?
Supervisor of Software Quality Assurance.
That's right. And Mike's in charge. I know you've all remembered Jerry that we met earlier who wanted to sleep with somebody. Okay, Mike's in charge. You didn't hear that, but you'll get that later.
Did you say that?
Mike's in charge of him and a few other gentlemen who at the present time aren't around. And
With Dan. You have to sleep with Dan to get out of this.
Mike's going to mention to a couple of you developers some of the important things that the QA department checks and maintains when they test your software for compatibility with our hardware.
What was the question?
Thanks, Mike. Great job. Okay, guys, so remember, if you have any questions as far as compatibility problems, he's the guy to talk to. Okay? That's my office. And as you can tell here by, excuse me, I'm on my cord. Can you get a close-up of this? That's me. I'm Dan. You see, this is the famous Boeing jacket. These jackets can be ordered. If you have any questions, see either me or Dale Luck after this tape is finished for order forms for this jacket. I'd like to take you now into my office and show you some of my humble abode. This was it. This is the hideout of an average CATS staff member. You've seen Bill's office, you've seen Carolyn's office, you've seen Dan's. Well, now you see the other Dan's office. As you can see, we too do all our development work on Amigas. Over here, I'd like to show you an Amiga 1000 that you'll notice is open. The reason that Amiga 1000 is open is so that we can get in there and do any kind of actual adjustments, modifications, or tests that have to be done at the hardware level. Over here is my 2000 that I use for development work. And over here is another A1000 that we're testing. If you notice, we use several different brands of third-party monitors to test for compatibility. And as far as Bridgeport compatibility, which this machine happens to have one of, over here we have one of our newly introduced PC-10-3s, which we also test for compatibility to make sure that everything works well together.
Don't you guys ever do any work?
That's Gayle. Okay, right now we're ready to leave. We're going to give you our final goodbye, but before we leave, I'd like to show you this flag that we have flying here. This is to show that Commodore stands for anti-piracy. That's right, we are against it. As you will have noticed if you attended our conference on software development, marketing, and piracy. Okay. Okay, that's been the Grand Tour Commodore Amiga here today. I hope you guys have had a good time, enjoyed yourself, had a couple laughs. You met most of the CAT staff, you met most of the important people here at Commodore that are behind the scenes, and a lot of you don't get to meet, that have to do important jobs with the development, production, and making sure that you get the Amiga. Right now I'd like to introduce into the picture here our real cameraman. This is Bill Kester. He's the guy who's really been doing the camera work all day while I've been walking around having fun. And we hope that
that's all you get to see of me.
Right. We hope that you've had as much fun watching this tape as we've had making it. Take care. Drive carefully on the way.